Okay, guys, so welcome to the Sydney SAFe Meetup for Feb 22. Uh, this time we have um, about the talk. Basically, it's Padma will give us uh, uh, tell us about her experience on her largest engagement of taking people from Waterfall through Agile and onto SAFe. It's interesting because it's going through that kind of cycle, and we will hear about the challenges she faced and how she was able to bring in the change. Remember, this is more kind of a, if you want to call it, intro for the discussion. So once she finishes, we're trying always to kind of first present, but it's basically quite relaxed, and idea is to discuss both her experience and your experience as well and how you see that. So regarding Padma, her background is somewhat unusual. She graduated in medicine, so she can probably tell you all about COVID, and and MBA in IT, so general management, and her specialty is pretty much business architecture. But she wears many hats, so product owner, manager, RT. Probably unusual is Padma is a chair for the healthcare forum at the Open Group. How many people are kind of have heard of the Open Group? It's quite a highly specialized and really good place. If not, search them. They have a lot of info on architectures, especially. So we would just before we begin, guys, a couple of things. First of all, would like to welcome and introduce Belinda T. She's newly appointed country manager for Australia and New Zealand. Welcome, Belinda. And we will bring Belinda. She brings basically to us the latest from Scale Agile. Previous months, it was usually Rob, but Rob was busy, so he just asked Belinda to join, which is fantastic, and it's a good intro. So we'll hear from her about the latest from Scaled Agile, latest info, and we're trying to do this every month so we can, as a community, we can keep up to what's happening. Usually we do that towards the end of the session, the last kind of 5-10 minutes at the end. And yeah, just to not to disrupt the discussion, then the Q&A session that follows the presentation. So during this presentation, keep in mind, stay on mute. The presentation is being recorded. It will be put on YouTube in due course. I'm not quite sure when, probably a week or two. And there will also be a QA after the presentation. So please put your questions in the chat box, and we will address as many as we can at the end during the Q&A session. But before we begin, one more thing. We have about 23 people. Can I ask all of you just to put in the chat box the city you are calling from? That will be awesome if you can. It's always fun because this timing we have chosen that is suitable for anyone from Sydney all the way to Europe. So anyone between here, so we are talking, let's say the Eastern Asia, then we have India, Middle East, and also Africa. And there we go, we have Belgium. Oh, Alejandro, we have probably it's the middle of the night over there in the USA. So thanks for joining, guys. And just before we begin, any questions? Any questions? Okay, if not, I'll monitor the chat, and Padma, you can probably start sharing.
Yeah, thanks, Mihail, and welcome everyone. And let me just start sharing my screen. Yeah. Are you all able to see my screen?
Okay, you want to put it in presentation mode?
Yes, absolutely. I'm just looking for the options. Yeah. Yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you.
So
That looks good.
welcome thanks, Mihail, and it's good to share the knowledge, right? Sharing is true caring. And I might go on off video because of the network issues to continue a pre-flow of the presentation. So here, the agenda today we are going to discuss. Prior to that, let me very quickly give how that Agile and SAFe have come into my life, and also what I have been doing for over the years. So, and what are these challenges, how the journey has started, and what are the improvements that we have made in various accounts, various areas in the organization, and what are the learnings that we can take them forward. So, so starting with the challenge. Uh, So the challenge we have challenges from the customer's perspective as well as our own organization's perspective. Customers' perspective, customers always want to accelerate or act or receive the value delivered to them from the organizations. And everyone got kind of not so happy with the never ending story of waterfall projects, as we all know that how we were struggling to get the value the organizations or the customers used to spend on single penny, because they are never ending stories. And customers wants efficient change management, right? And also gain the competitive advantage in the market place. And most last point from the customer's POV, but it is not least, virtual deliveries, because we were all working from home in the pandemic. How we can uh, deliver the value to our customers? So how do we go virtual? Because Agile talks about co-location and also face-to-face interactions. But the pandemic had taught us how to work from home, right? And from the organization point of view, organizations wants to increase the agility in the delivery. Why do we need to increase? Because we want to impress our customers. We want to um, uh, gain more customers, right, or logos into our organization's bucket. And also we want to organizations wants to have an advantage through the value delivery. And improving the team morale is very high. It has been observed in even the version one's agile report also says that. And because it's based on the survey conducted in multiple teams, right? Multiple organizations, multiple companies and all. And the way forward, the virtual deliveries, the answer is high performing virtual agile teams. And my experience is actually this, creating multiple high performing virtual agile teams. So let us start looking at the challenges we have gone through one by one from the customer's point of view. See, customers want to accelerate this value, whatever is delivered to them. And when customers were journeying into this chasm, from waterfall to agile, they were also learning from the success stories of agile early adopters like hyperscalers, right? And also the waterfall projects, the customers never had proper visibility into the projects because of various reasons. Because we used to sign off SOW. After that, only at the end of completion of the project, we used to have a checklist sign, okay, ticked. And then in between, not much interactions, like how we are seeing today. Customer is being part of the teams was not there in the, so in from the customer's perspective. So, and also waterfall projects, customers never had that visibility they wanted to always have. And change management, if we are we are actually scoping, coming out with the vision for a project from the customer's point of view, and we are signing with them through the SOW, and it gets delivered after an year or a 2 years time frame. By that time, the requirements for the in the marketplace might get changed. There are new ideas and new innovations are happening. There is no place for the customers to add the new um, changes. So efficient change management was another challenge customers were facing. But this can be addressed uh, very efficiently using agile methods. And a customer can rapidly deliver these whatever the new changes as per their competition that they are seeing in the marketplace. And this helps us for them in being in the for their competitive advantage. So the as you are we are aware that the competition in the marketplace is increasing, stressing the organizations to compete with each other. Both customers and organizations look at the early adopters and the lessons learned. So they want to increase their organization's agility, achieve speed of the deliveries that bring smile to our customers, and be part of customers' ecosystem so that we can gain more projects, right? So in that way, delivery organization can increase their market share as well. So we are actually creating that ecosystem shared win-win situation for the customers, for the ID organizations. Here we are creating a win-win situation, creating success for everyone. So for increasing the customer value, which construct of SAFe would work? What do you think? You can input in your answers in the um chat window as well. Do you think it's not portfolio, right? It's not solution or program, but it is the team of our agile teams. So we need to increase the morale of our teams. Here, when I have put this point, this is what I thought. We need to increase the team morale, and we need to recharge them from the legacy kind of lethargic culture of the waterfall, because now you see everywhere the appreciations for the teams, and you see in the LinkedIn all the time there are so many organizations, people keep putting their goodies shared to them by their organizations. Why the behavior has all of a sudden changed over the period of time? Because every organization want to first uh, keep up their team morale very high, so that that brings more enthusiasm, builds up enthusiasm in the teams. That helps them, because when we look at the SAFe big picture, value is not delivered at the portfolio or solution or program, but value is basically is happening at the ground level, where the teams are actually doing the work. So that is the reason we need to be increasing the team morale. So agile is the best method for doing that, using agile methods. And organizational readiness must adapt to the ongoing climatic, environmental, and epidemics hitting our world. It is not only now, but in future as well. How do we address all these uh, various situations that world keep on in the world keep on happening, and world is going to face not only now because of this pandemic, or there may be epidemics also hitting the world? How do we efficiently keep how organizations keep the team morale and keep working. We need to develop high performing virtual agile teams. Those teams, though we are working from home, we are actually focusing on. So we need to definitely, there is a need for creating more and more agile virtual teams. Those teams can work virtually. So, and the um, and the journey continues, right? The challenges. So our customers, and so what are the other challenges? So we have decided that we organizations want to adopt to the agile and other frameworks. Knowledge and learning is a great challenge. Without inculcating knowledge into our teams, we cannot we cannot work in agile. There are so many use cases. You all will have one or two cases to share. Without providing enough knowledge, why SAFe has included that pathway diagram where train everyone, right? Why SAFe talks about training. Training is inculcating that mindset and culture. Without, see, whenever we are going to Spain, you need to at least know a little bit of Spanish language to interact with the people. So similarly, we are going into a new way of working. So we need to understand how this work, what are the nuances of this work? How do we work in this new environment called agile, or agile methods, which includes everything, right? Today we will be talking even about SAFe, but how, where to start? Start with knowledge and learning. So when our customers and organizations wants to transition from the legacy ways of working to the agile wow or way of work, like our hyperscalers, for example, Amazon, AWS, or Microsoft, as you are all aware, who are all these hyperscalers, right? So we have faced all these challenges, and this is from my very long experience being in agile, doing agile, talking agile, walking agile for past a decade or so. So we need to first inculcate that knowledge and learning, and it doesn't stop there. Okay, development team knows, okay, we let us just start working, let us have a daily stand up meeting and provide an update on what has gone well, what has not gone well. Is it enough? Do you think? You can input your opinions also into the chat window. It is not enough. Till now, organizations are not able to develop that mindset and culture which is required for everyone to be on the same page. Everyone, we need to bring everyone onto the same page. Otherwise, people will go haywire, right? They think, oh, agile is too much of stress to me. No, it's not. Why do they think? Because we are actually, we were sleeping all the time. Now we are energizing and we are coming into this time box based deliveries. Time box based deliveries puts everyone into the same direction. People cannot go. That focus is required. For having that focus, you need to have mindset and culture developed. So so um, so we have faced all these challenges, and I'm sure all of you are coming from various organizations. You also might have faced this mindset and culture is very, very important. You also would agree with me, so that we can navigate safely from waterfall to agile or SAFe. Around 2011 to 12, we have started our agile journey to educate our agile teams on agile, scrum, kanban, and we have created communities of practice. So these communities of practice are very important for developing that mindset and culture, because like-minded people will come talk there and share the ideas, and that in that way the knowledge would increase. And we had regular, and also not only that, we have created agile playbook and various repositories where our sales teams can go refer to the success stories, and then use those stories, reach out to the subject matter experts. And we also had our regular cadence for the agile communities of practice, like office hours and open Q&A sessions. Even I remember we had initially set up an initial agile 24 by 7 clinic till it is there, and it's a kind of a coaching clinic. Is it not amusing, right? It's a clinic, but it doesn't treat patients, but it provides advices. Anyone reaching out to these SMEs in the agile world on their uh, agile, Scrum, SAFe, Kanban, whatever the method they were using, that problems. And even we have created learning courses in various levels, like agile and design thinking. And you might wonder why design thinking, right? SAFe also has design thinking at the essential construct. Why? We need to understand the customer's pain points. When we understand the customer's pain point, agile with a scrum, using scrum at the essential construct, with the design thinking, we will be able to deliver that high value to our customers, which we are actually looking the customer's problem from their eye, applying the problem solving lenses of um, understanding, walking their walk and talking their talk, right? So you are applying empathy there. So we have developed various levels of these agile foundation, agile and design thinking foundation, intermediate and advanced courses. And we have identified there is a great need to develop customer centricity and and as a mindset, not only agile, being agile and doing agile, but being customer centric is the foremost thing that we all need to uh, have in developing in our organizations as a mindset, along with the agile values and principles. And initially, we have started our journey using simple Scrum and Kanban methods. And the tools and techniques, the methods and frameworks, initially we used when we were transitioning from Waterfall to Agile. We start because our when you want to construct a house, you need to have a strong basement. Otherwise, house will fall. Even the SAFe big picture, the bottom is the teams of teams. What do? They do the Scrum, right? They use the Scrum framework. So initially we started Scrum and Kanban, and the tools of our choice were, we use multiple tools, but initially we started using Jira. Jira was universally we were using, but today we use many tools. Along with Jira, there is Azure DevOps, and my personal liking is Azure DevOps. Why? Because it is, I can actually use that to create epics and also the capabilities and features and user stories. It actually matches with the SAFe. And you may argue Jira is also having, yes, but this is my personal preference. I find Azure DevOps is very easy for applying SAFe for me. So, and also we use Miro and even Microsoft Whiteboard for conducting reviews retrospective. There are so many interesting templates in Microsoft Whiteboard, and Task Planner. That is another favorite for short projects anyone can use, which are not actually customer facing, but internally we need to bring some traction. You need a Kanban board. Then we started using Task Planner out of MS Teams all the time, and GitHub. GitHub is also very, very useful, uh, right? And whenever we are transitioning from waterfall to agile, customers will ask a great question all the time. Their concern used to be uh, how these program controls we will be able to bring, because um, all the while they know, okay, the organizations will send them some reports weekly or bi-weekly or monthly with some milestones achieved, not achieved, and with red, amber, green kind of reports. You remember, like previously we used to report, right, project performance reports and all. But now uh, all the customers have these queries. How do we manage the program controls in agile, right? And agile says document less documentation. That means don't we have any reports? And how do we manage the quality risk? um, these are significant concerns for our customers in the initial days. And what we have done, we need to provide our customers with how these are embedded in the, we have provided that confidence, inculcated the confidence in customers through agile reporting, right? So, and also the, as you all aware that these are all like quality, program control, risk are all embedded in the agile safe frameworks, and need not be a PPT report or an Excel spreadsheet like legacy reporting, right? And another area that will change drastically is the program controls, right? As I mentioned, apart from the reporting and all, and measurements. How do you measure the success? Bring more. So we need to bring more transparency to our customers. We started using sprint burn down. It's a bi-weekly. We used to generate and share it, and epic with every sprint completion. We used to create this sprint burn down from Jira, and epic burn down is a quarterly report, and release burn down again quarterly report talks about how many release, what is this release specifically about, and cumulative flow diagrams, and also a quarterly, and team burn down, which is a bi-weekly, along with the sprint burn down chart. So the governance team for addressing potential milestones or deliverables, uh, delays that include, usually when we talk about these program reporting, program governance and measurements, um, there are some potential milestones or deliverable delays. How do you tackle? That was another question most of the customers were asking whenever, especially there is increase. So there is potential delays. What we used to do is increase of the sprint team size, or add one or two more sprint teams, in reprioritizing the product backlog, working closely with the customers, product owner, and reduction or removal of the external distractions, where our scrum masters or release train engineers had coaching, guiding the team, and bridging that gap between the product ownership and the teams, and also the implementing the lessons learned from the retrospective sessions. So here, as you see, all these various elements need to be linked and work as bonds, right? These are all, then we will be able to provide that success formula to our customers. They are all interlinked. You cannot ignore knowledge and learning. You need to start, in fact, with the knowledge and learning, and inculcate mindset and culture, work on the methods and frameworks, and decide what tools, techniques, how do you establish program controls for the customers, how do you report, because they need to feel not only anyhow, you started with 400 story points. Now you have 10 story points in the backlog, along with visual. Why big visual um, uh, graphical representation SAFe represents? Because everyone, as I started the session only with some saying, customers want success, want to see the value. And program reporting governance, it has not gone. So there is no need for the program management team. Okay, we don't have any work. We have. You just need to change the way what we were working slightly to agile way by inculcating that mindset and culture, right? So our journey started, and it's not easy. It's difficult because changing mindset and culture is very, very difficult. You might agree with me. You might have already seen that there were many challenges, as I mentioned. And this approach of going agile methods, adopting to agile methods, is always top down. It cannot be bottoms up, right? Because uh, top down, the organization, that's what SAFe has, that layers, right? That the portfolio, the organization need to decide what are those value streams, right? And then they need to work from top to bottom. But always the knowledge, change in the mindset and culture, the decisions will be taken at the top layer, but actual activity, inculcating that culture and all those things starts from the bottom. So you need to identify the teams, start providing the knowledge, and then tools, techniques, and also give knowledge on the how to use tools. And you need to have an executive sponsorship. And for that, we need to create change agents. We need to have more change agents who can change the direction of the organization towards agile and SAFe. And we need to develop teams of agile teams. I will say now, I would prefer to make all the teams which are virtual. Now you see every organization is going virtual. So we need to develop virtually how teams can be efficient, can have that morale and things like that. And we need to show a regular value to the customers and their executives. For that, first we need to create the foundation strong. That's what decisions are top down, but foundation need to be strong. That's what our SAFe essential construct is very, very important. First, we need to um, use essential SAFe. Then you can add more layers as you see more success. And not only that, we need to organization wide develop the agile and design thinking mindset as a mindset and culture. Scale to SAFe. First, start with Scrum. Scale to SAFe. Create change agents and train everyone, and then deploy agile release trains. So this is, I think, mostly very easy way, though it is not easy to transition, but this is the way which over the years I found that this works well. And also there is no one size fit. You may be wondering, what does it mean? Let me, so this is a graphical representation of how we started our journey around it's earlier than actually 2015 or 17, but it had more focus had come to the agile and SAFe during this period. And we started creating the knowledge, the frameworks, and tools and repositories. And also we have created organization wide 3-level courses on agile and design thinking, learning levels. And also around 2018 timeframe, we started with Agile Scrum Nexus as a scaled method for Agile, and transformation or projects and accounts in our various transformation projects. And around 2019, when at the end of the 2019, right, when COVID hit, prior to that, we had came out with our CTO had come out with the concept of uh, squad is the minimal unit of any organization, which goes very well with high performing virtual agile teams. So agile mindset and culture, and we started creating the change agents, agile as well as SAFe, creating agile and SAFe change agents continued. 2020 we conducted many leading SAFe uh, sessions uh, to our multiple teams, multiple accounts, and we started scaling. We supporting our customers with SAFe, and journey continues. Creation of teams of agile teams and change agents, and the learnings. The learnings are first adopt and then adapt, and do value stream mapping to understand whenever we are actually want to transition from that desired state. Conduct a workshop, value stream mapping workshop, to understand what is our current state, how many people are currently understand agile in our organization, where do we need to go, what are our timelines. There is a milestone and the proper plan need to be there to reach there, and we need to develop an improvement backlog and develop the future state map as well, and we need to measure progress very frequently, decide on a cadence to measure that progress, fail fast, cheap, early, and learn from these failures. And agile mindset and culture is first, then the transformation or transition. So when I said one size does not fit, there is no one size fit, right? What does it mean? Whenever we start, this is our experience, I think your experience as well. It is actually as per the Wadley mapping perspective. I have put up this slide to understand, whenever we are actually coming out with the startup ideas and all, we would do multiple experiment, right? And Scrum or Agile methods are empirical ways of working. We fail fast, fail cheap, but we learn from failures. So whenever you are transitioning, just think of using simple Scrum so that you can deliver that value very quickly, and you can understand whether is it working or not, and your customers gain confidence as well. So in the Genesis area, from the Waldley mapping perspective, it is an inventor's space. Inventors will be coming out with all the ideas all the time, so they want to test those ideas, create the hypothesis, and understand whether their hypothesis is right or wrong. That's what this MVP state. When you have gained the confidence, it goes to the custom build, where you might need to add more teams. When you are adding more teams, you need to use teams of agile teams. Then it comes the question of using SAFe or any scaled agile method, right? And product rental phase, you might need to expand your business or expand the value generation to the customers. Then comes the SAFe and DevOps area. And finally, in the utility or completely product is in the evolution phase, you need to measure the defects. That is the stage where we use more lean out the process and use the Six Sigma, right? So that's what I said. There is no one size fit. But again, please remember, your uh, basics need to be strong. Then only you can scale. So Scrum to SAFe. So this is actually an example of how do we do agile One example, this is a post, which is a LinkedIn post, which I have made last year. It's about a virtual, when I say we need to create virtual teams, more virtual teams of teams. This is our technical conference on Agile. We do every year since 2018. We have been doing to bring various speakers in our organization to talk about their experiences, which is an organization-wide global virtual Agile conference or technical conference. This is a snapshot from there. So that's all from me. And now it's time for the discussions.
Thank you so much, Padma. That was awesome. Yeah, we have a couple of questions. Alejandro, would you like to ask your question? Alejandro Gonzalez.
Yes, hello,
Hi.
good afternoon. Yes, I heard uh, well many times about the mindset change, and when we have our meetings here in our organization with different trains, and I keep hearing that this is the toughest. This is the toughest part of the transformation, in which sometimes you mentioned train everyone in the organization about agile. So even sometimes they want to have this transformation, but they don't even take the training. So how to overcome this resistance? So how to navigate through this resistance, which seems to be the most complicated part in this transformation.
Yeah, so this is a very valid question, Alessandro. I think every organization uh, uh, need to understand without, as I initially mentioned, if you are going to a new country or new territory, if you don't talk their own language, they do not reciprocate with you in a proper manner, or they don't understand what we say, or we don't understand what they say. So similarly, if you want to work in a new way of working, we need to understand definitely how to uh, uh, work in an agile way, right? So your question, I know many organizations may not be willing to educate their resources. So what you can do, because of the reason that it may be very costly, if you want to go for external vendors, it will be a costly thing to educate maybe 10,000 people. So what we have done is we have created our own organization specific agile trainings by our own agile experts. As I mentioned, we have created the foundation, the intermediate, and also the expert level courses on both agile and design thinking that everyone in our organization can register and take these courses. That will be actually an economical way of educating everyone in our organization. In that manner, a bunch of experts or subject matter experts can take up this activity. But again, taking up this activity also require organization support. There is an executive sponsorship need to be there, because we are spending some man hours behind this education activity, right?
Perfect. Thank you so much. Zohaib, you have another question? You're on mute.
Just yes, thank you so much. I hope you can hear me. That's very
Yeah.
good. Thank you very much. And I think I must congratulate you as well, Dr. Padma. It's not an easy journey, but it seems that there has been a lot of successes despite all the challenges. And it's also inspiration to see this happening as well. I have put up a question that you mentioned the journey started back in 2015 or even earlier. So how quickly could the stakeholders start seeing the benefits, or was there a lot of resistance even though the journey had started?
Yeah, so this is another interesting question, Yocheb. So when we have started, as I mentioned, we need to show the result to the customer. We need to impress them. So we have created some sample groups of agile teams, and then we haven't gone big. We need to start small, right? We have, for example, if it is a very big account, we started maybe 2 or 3 trenches of teams working on agile way and taking up a scope, created a backlog, and then it took, I think, yeah, it took 6 to 7 sprints of 2 weeks, right? Then customer said initially they have given 2 to 3 trenches, and later one complete large account got transformed to agile. So then we haven't looked back. We used that success, showed to other customers. That's what we need to have repositories, right? As I mentioned, we need to have all the repositories to go back, refer, and reuse the content. So that is more important. When I talked about the program controls and all, these are all the common questions every customer asks. So how do we convince them? They need to have that confidence. Yes, Agile can do this. And also one more thing, we have given trainings to customers also, because customers representative, the product owner is the part of our team now. If product owner doesn't, initially this was another challenge I think missed mentioning. Product owner doesn't know that he need to prioritize the stories for initially. It's back in maybe 10 years back. So team was not able to work on the user stories, but they do not know. So then we need to identify quickly, okay, this is the bottleneck there. We went there and then we had to give training to the customers as well. Then we started including the product owners who are, so that is one barrier. And another is a language of our customers, because delivery mostly happens in the low cost delivery centers, and customers will be in some European countries. They have their own language. If product owner is not able to converse in English, that challenge also we had. So usually we should not have proxy product owner, but in this case we need to have proxy product owner.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Hope that
Yep.
answered your question.
Yep.
Awesome, guys. We have time for one more question. Anyone? Okay, if not, while you're thinking for a question, I would like to. Yes, go.
Hi, Rahul here.
Hi, Rahul.
Nihil, how are you?
Good. Go for it. Question.
Yeah. So my question is, I mean, we know that whenever we ask the customer, we have to do in agile way. But down the time when we pass 3, 4, 5 sprints and 1 or 2 PIs, there is no more agile 100%, I can say, not even 80%. Then as a scrum master or a product owner, we are also in a dilemma whether we will go to the main business and say, see, we are not doing agile properly and all, but after all they will say we are happy with the results, our timelines are meeting. At that time, how we can convince on how we can put our points. Meeting timelines is it's not the only thing that we are looking for. Agile is something else also. So how we can handle such situations, because being a scrum master of 2-3 teams or a product owner, it's very difficult to present your views in front of the business, where they don't worry about the agile and all, they just worry about their timelines and the delivery.
So Rahul, what do you mean by not doing agile after 2 to 3 sprints or after 1 PI? I did not follow. Why do you think that we are not doing agile?
See, suppose there are a few points where business will come in between and they say, okay, this is on priority, just do this, just include this in one. And if PO is also fine, okay, just include that and all. And if estimations are also not proper, yes, I know this is the responsibility of Scrum Master, but I mean, between the PI, you continuously getting some new work, some additional work. Your requirement is not fixed. When we say we cannot push between that, then they will say, what is the use of Agile? But at the same time, yeah.
Yeah. So that is the reason we need to educate everyone, right? Train everyone. Why SAFe says train all and then deploy the art? Why SAFe says that? If your executives, your team leads, your customer doesn't understand what is it mean to be agile, then they don't understand. Then there is no use of doing agile. So whatever you are facing, Rahul, the problem can be only we need to bring everyone onto the same. That's what in Spain everyone talks Spanish, right?
Yeah.
If we are going from outside also, we need to learn, stay there, learn the language, and then converse with people. Does that answer your question, or Mihail, you want to add something else?
Yeah. Actually, that's what I tried. I continuously taking sessions, but from the back of my mind, I think they are not this much interested. They listen, they will say yes, yes, we will do, but they are not this much interested, like not in a mood, because they are happy with the outcomes. That is, yeah. So I'm just keep trying with them. Yeah, see how this is, how this is.
Yeah,
So
keep in
this is
mind
the
the
challenge basically in the
customer.
real world.
Yeah, keep in mind the customer is always right what they call. So if that's good enough, that's good enough. If they don't want to go to the next level, very, very hard to convince them. And again, depends on the industry, the speed of the industry. For example, some industry needs really, really quick change, really, really quick
Yeah.
update of their product. But some industries are not that, they're just comfortable with just getting to the next gear, so to speak. And once you show them that, they see that it's good enough for their business outcomes. So why improve when you don't need it, so to speak? So keep that in mind. The speed of the industry is something that I've seen over and over again that is causing people to kind of slow down. So in other words, be sensitive to the customer's industry's change, speed of change. Example, if you're a bank these days, you're in, I don't want to kind of exaggerate, but in sheer panic. If you don't go digital, wow, we're gone kind of thing. So all the banks basically are doing that. However, if you're, I don't know what I can think of, something that is not that fast changing, example, insurance, then you probably don't have to, speed up that thing because insurance is relatively slower.
Yeah.
When I say relatively, sometimes it's fast, but yeah, so keep that in mind. That's the only thing I think that can get you through.
Yeah.
That clarify it a bit?
Yeah. Bit more.
Awesome. Thanks so
Thank
much,
you.
Rahul.
Thank you so much.
Guys, just before it's 5 to end, I would like to reintroduce again Belinda Lee, T, sorry. She's the newly appointed country manager for Australia and New Zealand. So welcome, Belinda.
Thank you. Thanks, Mihail.
And usually we have someone from Scaled Agile to bring us the latest. So what's new? What's coming up?
Yeah. Well, first of all, thanks, Padma, for sharing your experience with us. It's always exciting to see what organizations are doing and sharing war stories with everyone. Just two things really. We have two events coming up in the next 2 months. So the first one is we're going to be running a webinar called Exploring SAFe Enterprise, and that's scheduled for the 24th of February, 4 p.m. Sydney time. So this is going to introduce you to SAFe Enterprise, which is actually a platform that we have available that will allow all of your users or members to actually get access to the courseware and learning needs so that they can continue to share and practice SAFe. So it's highly relevant to the topics that's just been discussed today, where it's really important to actually enable people in your teams, and SAFe Enterprise actually is a platform to allow you to make all of this content more accessible to your organization. So that's on the 24th of Feb, 4 p.m. Sydney time. if you are interested in actually attending that, please shoot me an email. Send me an email at belindat@scaledagile.com, and we can get you on the invite list for that. There's also another event. We're actually running a spring launch in March, 24th of March. So it's spring because it's spring over in Boulder in head office. It's obviously autumn here for us. But this is going to be a session. We'll be running a couple of sessions around introducing you to the new features that we have coming up in SAFe. So if you're interested in that, again, just shoot me an email and we can get you on the invite list for that. So, and I'm here as well. I'm based here in Sydney. Excuse me for the noise, background noise. There's a helicopter just decided to fly overhead of my house. So yeah, if you need anything, please drop me a line. Happy to talk to you, meet all of you that's part of the community here in the region.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Belinda. And I hope that we will see you on the future meetups as well. This is really, really interesting to hear the latest happenings from the region.
Yeah, no, absolutely. We'll definitely try to attend all the meetups moving forward.
Brilliant. Thank you. Thanks for attending. Okay, any more questions, guys, for Padma? We have another minute or two. Want to squeeze the last minute out of this session. Okay, if not, I would like truly to thank Padma. It was a fantastic presentation. For me, especially the, yeah, towards the last slide, that was kind of, when to use what is probably one of the key tool things. Like anything else, any tool, including SAFe, is not, just for absolutely everything. So keep that in mind. I just get always reminded when someone says why I should use SAFe. Mark Richards is one of the SAFe fellows. He's down in Melbourne. If you know him, he's always said one thing, and that is when you have dependency that's across the teams, that's when you need SAFe. In other words, you have the essential SAFe, which is the Agile release train. So if you need that, you really need SAFe. But if you don't have those dependencies, although I have found some, and hopefully I'll put that on YouTube, when people kind of use SAFe in different ways, but it's really, really good to understand when SAFe shines and when, for example, it's just too heavy for some implementation, exactly as Padma showed in one of the last shows. So Padma, sorry, I can't see you. You switch off your camera.
Yeah.
And so thank you so much.
Thanks, Mihail. Thanks, Belinda. Thanks, everyone.
Okay.
Thank you so much for the nice session. Yes.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks,
Have a
guys.
wonderful
And
rest of the day.
talk next month. Take care.